Hello everyone, myself Dr. Jyoti Ganguly, Assistant Professor of Zoology, KTHM College Nasik. Students, today we are going to discuss regarding again a new topic, embolism. So, let us discuss regarding the embolism. So, the embolism, which is the process of partial or complete obstruction or disturbance of some part of the cardiovascular system by any mass carried in the circulation, means any mass, okay, which disturb to the circulation. Okay, so the transported intravascular mass detached from its site of origin and it is called as a embolus. Now such a embolus which is detached from its site, okay, and which get detached from its site and which enter or transported through the circulation. Now, most usual form of emboli, okay, such a emboli or near about 90% of such a emboli are the thromboemboli, okay. So, they are formed from the thrombo, that is thrombo clotting of blood emboli. So, near about 90% of such a emboli, they are formed from the thromboemboli and that is originated from the thrombi or either parts detached from the vessel walls. Okay, such a thrombi they are formed from such a emboli they are formed from either by means of thrombi or either by means of the parts they get detached from their uh, vessel walls. Okay, now here such a emboli they shows various types. Okay, so such a emboli they shows various types again depending upon the matter in the emboli, then depending upon whether infected or not, and again depending upon the source of emboli as well as depending upon the flow of blood. Okay, these are what's the different types or various types of the emboli. So we can see all the types one by one. Now the first type is depending upon the matter in the emboli. Okay, whatever the matter which is present, that is what the depending upon the matter of emboli. Okay, they can be as a solid. Okay, such a emboli they may be solid. Example that is detached thrombi or by either by thromboemboli. Okay, solid part or which is what the thromboemboli, clotting of blood. Okay, after that tumor other than this the tumor clumps they include then tissue fragments, parasites, bacterial clumps and foreign bodies. Okay, these are the some examples of such a solid type. Again the liquid type here examples such as fat globules, amniotic fluid and bone marrow. After that gaseous type which include air or other gases. Okay, air or other gases they are also produce such a kind of emboli or what we say is that the air emboli. Okay, so this is what the first type, that is depending upon the matter in the emboli. What matter the emboli they exist. Okay, according to that either solid, liquid or gaseous. Okay, the emboli they can be classified or they the examples are different such as the thromboemboli, then again tumor clumps, tissue fragments, parasites, bacterial clumps, foreign bodies, then fat globules, amniotic fluid, bone marrow, as well as gases or either air or other gases. Okay. Now the second type, that is depending upon whether infected or not. Okay. Now depending upon whether infected or not, on that basis it shows the types such as bland. Okay, bland when it is sterile and again septic when it is infected. Okay, so in that both condition depending upon whether infected or not. Okay, in case of not infected condition, that is the bland, or what we say is that when sterile, and in case of infected condition it is a septic. Okay, when it get infected. The next type is depending upon the source of emboli. Now here on that basis, okay, here you can see the cardiac emboli, okay, which again shows the types such as cardiac emboli, arterial emboli, venous emboli. Example again is what? The metastatic. Okay, metastatic means the wide spreading metastatic deposits in the spine from carcinoma prostate. Okay, carcinoma, cancer of such a prostate, or what we say is that the metastatic or which gets spread. So this is what regarding the retrograde embolus. Now the next point is the thromboembolism, okay, or arterial as well as systemic thromboembolism. Okay, now here what is meant by thromboembolism? So a detached thrombus, okay, such a thrombi which get detached, okay. So it is what? A detached thrombus or a part of thrombus constitute the most common type of embolism. Okay, now here such a type, okay, it is what? The arterial or systemic thromboembolism. Here we have the topic that is thromboembolism. So what is meant by thromboembolism? Such a embolism which is formed from the thrombi or formed from the thrombus. That is the thromboembolism. So here we can focus on the arterial or systemic. It is systemic, not systematic. So systemic thromboembolism. Okay. So here the arterial emboli which may be carried from the sources. Here we can see which can be carried from the sources. So as you keep it in mind, first the thromboembolism, after that the arterial or systemic. Okay, here systemic, not systematic. So arterial or systemic thromboembolism, and here we have two different aspects or two different types, such as causes within heart and causes within arteries. Okay, so arterial or systemic thromboembolism, in that what? The causes within the heart and causes within the arteries. So such a arterial emboli, okay, which may be derived from, okay, such a arterial emboli which may be derived from the sources, that is causes within the heart or causes within the arteries, okay, which can, such a arterial or systemic thromboembolism which can be derived from these two things, okay, by means of these two reasons, causes within heart and causes within arteries. Okay, now the first is what? Causes within arteries. Now the causes within the arteries, here near about 80 to 85%, okay, the percentage of such a embolism is what? Or the that is near about 80 to 85%. So such a reason, that is causes within the heart, okay, these are the mural thrombi in the left atrium or the left ventricle. Okay, so this is the thrombi which is from the left atrium or the left ventricle of the heart, whereas the vegetation on the mitral or aortic walls. Okay, now the prosthetic heart wall replacement and cardiomyopathy. Okay, so such a causes within heart, okay, which can be caused at the time of when the conditions such as, okay, the thrombi in the left atrium as well as the left ventricle, along with that the vegetation on the mitral or aortic walls, after that prosthetic heart wall replacement and cardiomyopathy. Okay, in that condition which shows the causes within the heart. Okay, now after that causes within the arteries. Here these include the emboli developing in relation to atherosclerotic plaques, then aortic aneurysm, then pulmonary veins, then paradoxical arterial emboli which is from the systemic venous circulation. Okay, so what it includes? The causes within arteries which include the emboli. Such a emboli they developing from, okay, in relation to, okay, the parts such as the atherosclerotic plaques. In case of atherosclerosis or atherosclerosis plaques, then aortic aneurysm in the condition that is aortic aneurysm. After that, pulmonary veins and paradoxical arterial emboli. Okay, from this, okay, it causes the reason that is causes within the artery. Okay, again, here you can see the effect of such a arterial emboli, okay, which depend upon the size, then site of lodgement and adequacy of collateral circulation. Now here, if here the vascular occlusion occurs, okay, here the following ill effects may result. Actually what it is? These are the reasons, okay, these are the reasons for what are the reasons here? The effect of arterial emboli, which depend upon their size, okay, the effect of such a arterial emboli, okay, which is depend on what it is, which is depend upon the their size, then the site of lodgement and adequacy of the collateral circulation. So if the vascular occlusion occurs, okay, if the vascular occlusion, okay, they get occluded or vascular occlusion occurs, okay, the following ill effects may result. The effects such as, the ill effects they occurs, the effects such as the infraction of organ, then gangrene, after that arteritis, arteriasis and mycotic aneurysm, followed by myocardial infarction and the last one that is sudden death. Okay, so these are what the conditions, okay, these are what the ill effects or the conditions, okay, which are responsible for the causes within the arteries, okay, causes within the arteries, the reasons such as what? The infraction of organ, then gangrene, then arteriasis and mycotic aneurysm, myocardial infarction and the finally sudden death. Okay, after that we can focus on, okay, this is what about the thromboembolism, and in that we are focusing on the arterial or systemic thromboembolism. Now the next type is the venous thromboembolism. Okay, so we have, okay, the thromboembolism two types, that is arterial and venous. Okay, so the arterial thromboembolism, okay, which constitute the causes within the heart, and the causes, the second one that is causes within the arteries. Okay, now let us discuss regarding the venous thromboembolism. The thrombus or the venous thromboembolism, okay, it is what? The venous emboli, okay, venous emboli which may arise from the sources, okay, the venous emboli which may be arises from the sources such as, here you can see thrombi in the veins of lower leg. Okay, so if the lower leg, okay, the veins of lower leg, okay, if they can show the thrombi, okay, which can show the venous thromboembolism, or this is the cause of the thromboembolism. Now the second reason is the thrombi in pelvic veins. After that, thrombi in veins of upper limbs. After that, the thrombosis in cavernous sinus, and the thrombi in right side of the heart. Okay, these are what the causes. Okay, these are what the reasons. Okay, which causes the venous thromboembolism. Okay, now after that we can you can focus on the diagram also. Here you can see arterial thromboembolism and venous thromboembolism. Now here you can see, in case of arterial thromboembolism, here you can see this is the carotid atherosclerosis. Now here you can see the thrombus, okay, here you can see the black dot, okay, black patch, it is what the, here again the black patch is there. So this is the thrombi of, that is carotid atherosclerosis. Now here you can see the thrombus in the left atrium. Again here you can see the valvular endocarditis. thrombus in the valvular, the walls, okay, where the walls are there, the valvular endocarditis. Then here you can see the thrombus in left ventricle. Okay, so it is what the thrombus, it is what the whatever the bodies, okay, they get accumulated either by means of blood and different types, okay, that I already discussed. So they form the thrombi. Okay, this is what the arterial thromboembolism. Here you can see the thrombus in the left ventricle. Here aortic atherosclerosis. Now here the mural thrombus in the aortic aneurysm. Okay, mural thrombus in the aortic aneurysm, and here you can see the mural thrombus in the iliac artery. Okay, so iliac, okay, so here such a artery which get bifurcate to form narrow artery again, okay, and which continues. So it is what the mural thrombus in the iliac artery. Okay, and this is the arterial thromboembolism. Now again here you can see the venous thromboembolism. Here you can see the thromboembolism in vein pulmonary artery. Okay, so this is the vein pulmonary artery, and here you can see the thromboembolism in the main pulmonary artery, and which can shows the pulmonary embolism. Okay, so this is regarding the lung, pulmonary embolism. Now here you can see the tumor embolism. Okay, which such a embolism which is in the form of tumor, or what we say that the tumor embolism. Here you can see the amniotic fluid embolism. Amniotic fluid embolism, followed by here the fat embolism from the fracture. Okay, suppose the bone which get fractured by means of accident or so many things. Okay, so that time such a particles of bone, okay, they get mix in the blood circulation. Okay, and here in the blood circulation, okay, they form such a get mixed with the blood particles, okay, and which form again the embolism. Okay, or again here the fat embolism from the fracture, okay, or from the fats, okay, they form. Now the particles of such a bone, or again the fats, okay, or whatever the blood cells, okay, they form such a kind of embolism. After that, here these are the deep veins thrombosis. Okay, here you can see the deep vein thrombosis. Okay, so this is the venous thromboembolism. Now we can see the types of embolism. Again here the pulmonary embolism. The pulmonary embolism, which is defined as the most common and fatal form of venous thromboembolism, in which there is occlusion of pulmonary arterial tree by thromboemboli. Okay, now here the pulmonary thrombosis such as the which is uncommon and which may occur in pulmonary atherosclerosis and pulmonary hypertension. Okay, now we can come to its etiology. So such a pulmonary emboli, they are more common in hospitalized or bed-ridden patient. Okay, though they can occur in ambulatory patient. Okay, so here you have to remember such a pulmonary embolism. Okay, they are very common in hospitalized patient or in bed continuously. Those patients, they are sleeping on bed. That is what the bed-ridden patients. Okay, now here in that condition the causes. Okay, how they can how such a pulmonary embolism cause. Okay, it is from the thrombi. Okay, such a thrombi, they originating from large veins of lower leg. Okay, and near about 95%, okay, which can cause the pulmonary embolism. Okay, how it is? Such a thrombi, okay, pulmonary thrombi, okay, or the thrombi, they originating from the large veins of lower leg, and the percentage near about 95%, okay, which is formed from such a kind of thrombi. Now the less common source which include the thrombi in what we say is that the varicose veins or varicositis of superficial veins of leg, and again pelvic veins such as the pre-prostatic, then peri-ovarian, then uterine and broad ligament veins. Okay, so these are the causes, okay, which can cause such a kind of pulmonary embolism. Now come to its pathogenesis. Now the detachment of thrombi from any of the above mentioned or the reasons that I already mentioned here, that is either from the thrombi which is originating from the large veins of the lower leg, or either from the less common sources. They include the thrombi such as the varicositis of the superficial vein of the leg, either the vein of the pelvic region, then periprostatic region, peri-ovarian or uterine or broad ligament veins. Okay, these are the sites. Okay, so the detachment of thrombi from any of these sites, okay, which produces a thromboembolus that flows through venous drainage into the larger veins, okay, which draining into the right side of heart, right? So here from these all sides, okay, such a emboli, okay, they produce and they enter into the circulation, they enter into the vein, and finally, okay, they reaches to the right side of the heart. Now here, if the thrombus is large, it is impacted at the bifurcation of many pulmonary arteries, okay, or it may found in the right ventricle or its outflow tract. Now, the more commonly, there are multiple emboli or large emboli which may be fragmented into many smaller emboli, or which are then impacted in the number of vessels, particularly affecting the lower lobes of lungs. Okay. Now, if the emboli they are larger, okay, they can here they found in the right ventricle or its outflow tract. Okay, after that, more commonly such a emboli, suppose they are smaller, okay, then they impacted on the number of vessels and they affecting the lower lobes of lungs. Now, this is what about the pathogenesis. One more point, that is the paradoxical embolism, which may occur by the passage of and such a kind of embolism from right side of heart into the left heart through the arterial or ventricular septal defect. Okay, if there is a defect in the septal, okay, septal wall or ventricular septal region, okay, that time such a paradoxical embolism takes place, and which is again the cause of mention here, that is pulmonary embolism. But this is the rare case. Okay. Now, the consequences of pulmonary embolism. Okay. The consequences of pulmonary embolism, which include the sudden death, then acute pulmonary infection, pulmonary hemorrhage, resolution, pulmonary hypertension. Okay, these are the consequences, these are the reasons, okay, or of such a pulmonary embolism. So, or the effects of such a pulmonary embolism. We can see all one by one. Now, the sudden death, which is the first consequence of such a pulmonary embolism, here which include, okay, the sudden death which include the massive pulmonary embolism which results in instantaneous death, okay, sudden or which can cause the death, okay, without occurrence of chest pain or dyspnea. So, which can cause the dyspnea. Now, however, if the death is somewhat delayed, okay, so during this time of pulmonary embolism, if takes place and the victim is suffers from the death, but during that time the chest pains they are not occur as compared to the heart attack. Okay. Now, so the chest pain could not occur without occurrence of chest pain or dyspnea. Okay. Now, however, if the death is somewhat delayed, the clinical features resembles the myocardial infarction and suppose the sudden death is there, this is by means of pulmonary embolism, and if it is delayed, death is delayed, then it is by means of the myocardial infarction. In that time, the patient, this shows the severe chest pain and dysphonia as well as shocks also. This is in case of myocardial infarction. Now you cannot mix these two things. The consequence of such a pulmonary embolism, where the first reason is the sudden death. Now the second reason is the acute or pulmonate. Now the numerous small emboli which may obstruct most of the pulmonary circulation, resulting in acute right heart failure. Which result from the acute right heart failure, and the another mechanism which is by release of vasoconstrictor substances from platelets or by reflex vasoconstriction of pulmonary vessel. What it is again? The numerous small emboli may obstruct most of the pulmonary circulation, resulting in acute right heart failure, which can cause the right side of heart which get failed or failure. And another mechanism here is by release of vasoconstrictor substances, and such a vasoconstrictor substances which is released from the platelets or by reflex vasoconstrictions of pulmonary vessels. So due to the release of such a vasoconstrictor of pulmonary vessel, which can shows the acute or pulmonate kind of embolism, or what we say is that this is again the reason or the consequence. Now the next is pulmonary infraction. The pulmonary infraction which include the obstruction of relatively small size pulmonary arterial branches and which may result in pulmonary infraction. So as we are familiar with, a minute arterial branches are there, they are minute in size, such a pulmonary arteries or arterial branches, they are minute in size, and here the pulmonary infraction is what? The obstruction which is takes place in those pulmonary arteries, or arterial branches. Now here the clinical feature which include the chest pain due to the fibrinous pleuritis, then dysphonia, due to reduced functioning of pulmonary parenchyma. Now this is what about the pulmonary infraction. Then pulmonary hemorrhage. Now here hemorrhage means the blood loss or the blood. Blood loss is there. Now obstruction of terminal branches which leads to the central pulmonary hemorrhage. Now, and such a clinical features which includes the hemoptysis, then dysphonia, and less commonly chest pain due to the central location of pulmonary hemorrhage. Now sometimes there may be concomitant pulmonary infraction which may again takes place. Now you have to remember pulmonary hemorrhage. So the blood loss which takes place at the central location of such a pulmonary region. Or here the reasons such as chest pain or dysphonia. These are some clinical features. Now after that, resolution. Now the resolution here, vast majority of small pulmonary emboli, that is near about 60 to 80% of such a emboli, they are resolved by fibrinolytic activity. They get resolved. Now near about 60 to 80% of such a pulmonary emboli, they get resolved by fibrinolytic activity. Now these patients, they are clinically silent and owing to the bronchial circulation, so that the lung parenchyma is adequately perfused. Now, after that, the pulmonary hypertension, then chronic or pulmonate and pulmonary arteriosclerosis. Now, here which include, okay, now this last step, that is pulmonary hypertension, which include, okay, these are the sequel of multiple small thromboemboli. Okay, sequentially or sequels, okay, of what? A small thromboemboli undergoing healing rather than resolution. Okay, they undergo healing rather than resolution. Okay, now this is what regarding the consequences of pulmonary embolism. Now, the further part, that is systemic emboli, fat embolism and others, okay, we can discuss in next lecture.